All right, welcome back. So now we're back with Bryan's turn to test the Storm Phase 4. He has a Phase 3 in his bag currently, so it was going to be interesting to get his perspective on the big velocity core in the R2S as opposed to the R3S cover stock on the Phase 3. Our pattern here at Limerick Bolero is, I would say, pretty representative of many house shots out there with the walled shape. Very dry to the outside, pretty wet down the middle. So you kind of know that you won't be able to start up such a clean, responsive cover immediately into the friction, but you do need downlane friction to get response. And just as expected, too close to the friction doesn't really work due to over-under. But as soon as Bryan moved a few boards left, and push the ball to the friction, so open the angles just a little bit, the ball comes into its own. And there, he had a very nice shape overall. It is long, it is, longish and kind of back-endy, if you will. But of course, with that type of reaction and this clean and quote, weak cover, misses in the oil do float and don't really do much. But it didn't go crazy from the outside friction. So there really wasn't the over-under you might have expected with this ball. And again, I think we talked about it a little bit with that big core, just slows it down just enough so that it doesn't give you that sort of really aggressive snap look. Now, as the lane transitioned, over-under did come into play a little bit. In other words, it started hooking too much. And then, if you push the ball in, to the oil, it still didn't do anything. 2-1, still kind of in that same zone. But once he had another 2-1, so about 4 boards over with his feet, he was back in business. And as you can see, Bryan's going left to right to left. So while he doesn't do that often, the Phase 4 worked pretty well from there. He really was able to shape the lane pretty nicely. Now here are a few shots with the Phase 3 as a quick comparison. And you can really see that despite being the same out-of-box finish, you didn't modify that, and the same core, the Phase 3 had a kind of definitively smoother, rounder, earlier shape than the Phase 4. I mean, clearly the R3S hybrid cover has more underlying grit, and that just allows the core to churn up just that bit sooner. It outhooks the Phase 4 by a small bit, but the more telltale is that when he misses in, he leaves single pins rather than buckets. That's that's really the telltale difference. And he also tried the Spectre, and you can quickly see that it's just about on top of the Phase 3 for him. And while there is a difference, it still begs the question, are these balls different enough? Right? The Phase 4 would clearly be a mid-late for Bryan, and he currently has the Phase 3 in his bag. Spectre would be a replacement, it's so close. But the bottom line is, for most bowlers, you only need one of these. I mean, for a tournament bowler or a high-average bowler looking to have a bit of a niche difference in ball reaction, the Phase 4 could complement either the P3 or the Spectre as a step down.